Hello students, this is Neha Sharma, your English language teacher. Today in this video, I will explain The Tiger in the Zoo, poem number 2 of class 10th. It is written by Leslie Norris. In this poem, the poet tries to depict the mental condition of a caged tiger. He compares the life of a tiger in the zoo with its life in its natural habitat. The poet conveys an important message that the wild animal should be in their natural habitat. The tiger is a proud creature. It is a shame that such a powerful and untamable animal should be caged in a zoo. In his natural and wild habitat, he does need the help of any kind of hunt to his food. Let's know about the author. George Leslie Norris was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. He is considered as most important Welsh writer of the post-war period, and his literary works have won many prizes. His famous works are Finding Gold, The Loud Winder, Phoenix Living Poet Series, and Ransom, etc. See the introduction of the poem. A Tiger in the Zoo is a lovely poem by Leslie Norris. The poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo to the tiger in its natural habitat. The poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. In his natural surrounding, the tiger is happy and joyful, but in a cage, he is full of rage and trouble. The poem shows the great importance of freedom. Let's see the first stanza of the poem. He stalks in his vivid strips, the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage. In this stanza, let's see the meaning of stalks. Stalks means follows or walks. Vivid means bright colored. Pads, paws of the tiger, and rage means anger. Here in these lines, the poet says that the tiger, that is, confined in the zoo, moves around in the cage under his bright colored skin. He further says that the tiger can take only a few steps because the cage is small and it is not easy to move in it. One cannot hear his footsteps because he is very soft feet, like velvet, because of which there is no sound of the tiger's footsteps. The tiger tries to control his anger by quietly walking in the limited area of his cage. He is angry because he is not free. Let's see the rhyming scheme of this stanza. Rhyming scheme of the stanza is abcb. Number 2 literary device is personification. The tiger is personified because the poet refers him as he. Number 3 is metaphor. Tiger's paws are compared with velvet, which are pads of velvet. Number 4 is enjambment. Sentence is continuing next line without any punctuation mark. Imagery. Poet tries to create an image about the tiger when he says he stalks in his vivid strips and the few steps of his cage. Next is consonants. Use of S sound in the words stalk, his, and strips. Next figure of speech is assonance. Use of vowel sound I in his vivid strips. And the last one is oxymoron in this stanza. Here, use of adjective opposite in meaning, quiet and rage. So, these are the literary devices of first stanza. Let's read the second stanza of the poem. He should be lurking in the shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water holes where the plump deer pass. Let's see the word meaning. Lurking means to be hidden as to wait for your prey. So, in these lines, the poet says that if this tiger was free, he would have hid himself behind the long grass near the water bodies so that he could easily catch a deer in order to have it as its food. Basically, the poet wants to say that the actual life of a tiger is to live in jungle where he could catch his prey and eat it, but the tiger in the cage cannot do so. Let's see the literary devices or poetic devices in in stanza number 2. Number 1 is rhyme scheme, and the rhyme scheme is same in the entire poem, that is ABCB. Number 2 is enjambment. Line continues to next line without any punctuation mark. That is seen in the lines sliding through and deer pass. Number 3 is alliteration. Use of sound P at the start of two words, that is plum pass, means P sound is being repeated here. Next one is imagery. The poet has tries to create an image of tiger's activities, that is lurking in shadow. Let's see stanza number 3 of the poem. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Let's see the word meanings. Snarling means warning sound made by animals. Baring means uncovered, and fangs means sharp tooth of animal. So in these lines, the poet says that if the tiger would have been free, he would have snarled around, means he would have given the warning sounds to the people, to the houses located at the outskirts of the forest. He would terrorize people with his sharp tooth and claws. This would create fear among the people living in the village. Let's discuss about the literary devices in this poem. Rhyming scheme is ABCD. As I told you, the entire poem has a rhyming scheme of ABCD. Enjambment. Line continues to next line without punctuation mark. In the line, he should be snarling around houses at the jungle edge. Next one is onomatopoeia, using word which denote sound snarling, means the same sound of the creature which is created by an animal or something else. So that is snarling sound. Assonance, use of vowel sound O and I in the words should, around and houses. This is the repetition of sound O, and bearing, his, white and his once again is the repetition of I sounds. Next one is consonants. Use of consonant sounds S, his, fangs, his and claws. So sound of S is being repeated in the words his, fangs, his and claws. Let's go to the next paragraph, next stanza. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Let's see the new words. Concrete means building made of bricks, cement, sand and water. Now, the poet comes to the reality of the tiger, that is inside the cage. He says that the tiger is confined in a strong cell, which is made of strong building materials. He further says that as the tiger is behind bars, so his fierceness is also behind the bars. He just stalked in the cage. He never tries to terrorize the visitors because his power is restricted by the cage. Therefore, he never tries to terrorize the visitors as he cannot attack them. Let's see the poetic devices in the stanza. Rhyme scheme is ABCB. Next one is personification. The tiger is personified because the poet refers him as he. Assonance, use of vowel sound E in the words he, locked, concrete and cell. Consonants, use of consonant sound S, his in the words his, strength and bars. And the last one is alliteration. Here use of sound B at the start of two words, that is behind and bars. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. In this stanza, patrolling means to guard or to visit. The poet says that in the night, the tiger hears the sound of patrolling cars, which are used to guard at night. So in the night, the tiger hears the sound of these cars. He then stares at the shining stars with his shining eyes. The poet wants to say that tiger is sad, and as he is confined in the cage, so he cannot do anything. Therefore, he stares at the stars in the night and tries to divert his thoughts towards them. Let us see the literary devices in the stanza. First is rhyming scheme, that is ABCB. Number 2 is enjambment. Line 3 continues to line 4 with any punctuation, without any punctuation mark, that is given, and stare his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. And this means when the line, when the meaning is not getting completed in one line or one phrase, and for that we have to go in next line, that is called enjambment. Alliteration, use of sound H in the starting sound of word, and the words are he and hears. And the last one is assonance. Here use of I sound is being repeated with in the words with, his and brilliant. So, in the end, the poet wants to give us the message that wild animals should be in their natural habitat. Thank you. That is all for today.